let's start with the first point, and that is recognizing toxicity. You have to understand when you're in an environment that's not conducive to your emotions. Let's start by shining a light on what makes a workplace toxic. And the first step is self-awareness. So in order to determine if you're in a toxic environment, you have to understand if you've changed, if your emotions have changed, if your thinking has changed, if your behavior has changed, getting you to the place where you are right now, feeling uneasy at work. Okay, so self-awareness is the way to understand, how am I doing? How am I feeling right now? Am I stuck and just haven't realized it? You manage your emotions even in high pressure or abusive work conditions when you are aware of who you are. In my own work history, the underdevelopment of emotional intelligence kept me in toxic work environments for far too long. And in other times when I applied emotional intelligence, it empowered me to know when I had overstayed my welcome. Listen, when the comfort and success you used to feel at work slowly drifts away, your new status becomes a shock to you, and it's a bad one too. You know, a red flag that you are somehow losing your status at work might be when somebody comes and pulls you to the side and lets you know that there are discussions going on about your performance and they're going on behind your back. Or even worse, the people who you thought were your work besties, they knew about these talks and didn't say anything to you. So who can you trust? Think about this. Most people spend 40 hours or more a week in this work environment. And if you allow this toxic environment to have its way with your emotions, how will you survive this? And I'm going to tell you, you can't. If you do nothing and let your emotions just go up and down with the way that somebody else is controlling them, then you won't survive. Because trouble at work shows up in your behavior. That self-awareness time, you need to be introspective. You know, just think, do you bring your work drama home with you? Do you? Does your inability to speak at work translate into a short fuse at home? Like nobody can say anything to you at home without you going off, but at work, you can't open your mouth to take up for yourself. You think you're holding it all together, but you're yelling at your loved ones who just want to talk to you or spend time with you. The endless negativity and the cutthroat competition and the leadership that seems to thrive on drama has your emotions on a roller coaster ride. I mean, now you can't do anything right at work. Whatever you say in a meeting just doesn't come out right. Your report is somehow missing something. Emotional intelligence is the one skill that works in every situation and in all environments, including your work environment. So practicing self-awareness helps you to maintain your self-worth. As you manage this tough season at work, you need to know who you are. You know, you won't remain in this status forever. Either your employer will change your status or you can change your status. You need to maintain your self-worth so that you make decisions using logic and faith and not fear. Fear is what will make you miss out on opportunities for change. And you know, sometimes there is a signal, there's a sign on the wall saying that, look, it's time for you to reassess and do something different. Fear makes you miss out on opportunities to exercise your faith. Faith is really what's going to get you through this. Listen, there's one red flag that you may not have even considered. And you know what that flag is? That it's time for you to move on. You're no longer fulfilled in this role. You're not even fulfilled by the pay that it offers. Or you might feel like you are dumbing yourself down because you're not in the right place. You're not surrounded by the right people. You're not getting any stimulation from your environment. Unfulfillment sets in because your best skills and talents are not being used. And this position that you're in is no longer fulfilling you. You could move to a different department. That might help it. Or move to a different position at the same company. Those may be options for you to get out of this bad working situation. But perhaps you need to change companies or industries altogether. But that's something that contemplation and self-awareness will allow you to understand. But here's a step that you can do right now to get you underway to really start looking at your work environment differently, assessing where you are, what your status truly is at work, and become empowered with self-worth and self-confidence to develop a strategy to either get promotion, move departments, or change jobs, or start your own business altogether. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to grab a notebook, a journal, whatever you have, and I want you to become a workplace emotions sleuth for 1 week. And what you're going to do is you're going to write down what feels off and how it's impacting you. When there's an incident that happens, why do you think you felt the way that you felt? What was your response? And did it trigger you to a thought or feeling that was negative about yourself? And so this way you can start seeing if there are patterns that you've never noticed before. And then if those patterns are because of your own behavior, then you have the opportunity to do something about it. Remember, you can't change other people, but you can change how you show up and how they interact with you. But listen, Eleanor Roosevelt once said that no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And that's a powerful reminder that we have more control over our lives than we are using. Having self-awareness and using emotional intelligence allows you to be assertive and to operate within your confidence so you don't fall prey to office politics and those mind games that the corporate machine does on everyone.